Okay, here we are. It's a nice sunny day in the neighborhood. Who are the people in your neighborhood? And we're going for a picnic because we can. Plus, we're going to be checking in with Canada Dream, which is an RV sales dealership. And we'll sit down and talk with them, and hopefully I get to do a tour. And we're going to go watch airplanes at the Toronto airport because the winds are right and they're coming in just overhead. So a good spot where we can visit. See you later. So while you watch this video and pictures and anticipate what's coming up, let me tell you a story. And it's titled, When Something Doesn't Turn Out the Way You Hoped or Dreamed. What do? Well, you can revise the plan. Or you can forge ahead and persevere and make it happen, just like Walt Disney did with Disney World. More than likely, you take the new information, which often alters a dream, and you figure out a way to revise the plan. So questions you might want to ask yourself are, what were you really intending to happen? What is it that you wanted? Why did you want that? What were the circumstances that initiated the idea? What are the most integral elements that need to be included in a new plan? Essentially, you need to know yourself. It helps. Well, initially, I began to realize that Stanley and I are both aging. He quicker than me because he's 11 and a half years older than I am. He's further along the path of life than I am. However, in many respects, he's always been more my age, about 10 years younger than the average person his age. He's very agile, he's very quick. He's very much the same guy I met when he was 54 and we married. So we've both been self-employed most of our lives. We don't have a company benefit or pension plan. We only have our senior government income. Both of us held part-time jobs after the age 65, and Stanley has just recently officially retired from his part-time work. So he's 81. That's probably, as the Newfies would say, proper thing. This cuts our income in half, however, and I knew this was coming, and I'm such a planner. I was talking to Stanley about what are we going to do about this or that or different ideas. And then there was another idea that started to hit me. I thought, what if he passes away? I will not be able to afford this place on my own. This place being the house that we rent. We rent the upper portion of a house, and downstairs there's a walkout apartment where another senior couple, who are both 85, they rent that. And they actually gave up their house around the corner because they said the taxes were getting too much, and they moved into the little unit downstairs. So it's a good combination for us. However, it means that neither one of us really have full run of the whole house. They essentially have the backyard. We have the front yard. It means if I want to set up my tent to air it out or whatever, I can't, because you wouldn't want to set a tent up in the front yard. Now, the housing situation, whether you rent or own, in Canada and in the US, is horrendous. Lots of people cannot afford the prices being asked for a home. The taxes are horrible, like our neighbors, our friends living downstairs. They gave up their big house because of taxes. So Stanley and I are fortunate in that our rent is not exorbitant. However, I still will not be able to live here without his living contribution. Researching various options and ideas, living full-time in a Class C RV seemed like a viable option. So I would go online, and Canada Dream is one company I would look at because they have this great website, and that would give you a price of a vehicle if you were to buy it outright, but it also gave you the monthly cost. And I've seen it as low as $5.99 a month. Average price is about $700. So we met with the Canada Dream salesperson, and he was very knowledgeable and very helpful. But one of the first things he said was that we would need a deposit of $20,000 down. I don't know if he thought we were made with money or something, but and when I heard that, my heart dropped. I said, well, that idea is definitely out. But then when we pressed in a little bit and I asked him about the prices that I'd seen online, he explained that it is possible to rent or buy it, not rent, but buy a vehicle without a deposit. But then the prices goes up to 1,300. Well, our rent is 15, and that's it. It's all inclusive. So I'm thinking this is not actually going to save me any money, and it's certainly not an option I can consider if Stanley's not with me. So, talking with a few dealers, RV dealers, on the information they have presented, which is a lot different than what I've been seeing online, it's turning out to be not the reality that I initially felt or saw. So that means I have to revise the dream. I'm still working on it. I'm not sure where it will go. Maybe I'll live to 92 and Stanley will be 103. And we don't need to think about anything. Haha. Well, what I do know is that many of the things that we hope and plan for potentially can meet up with events that cause us to change our mind, that cause us to think differently. Sometimes the reality of something is way different than the dream of it. Most of the things we fear or are afraid of might not happen. In fact, usually they don't. Different kinds of opportunities occur as we walk ahead on life's path. We don't always see the benefits and good things coming, but they do show up, especially when we travel that bend in the road. Sometimes there is the most beautiful vista we never imagined, which ends up being better than our original dream. So as seniors, we do wonder where we'll be, what we'll be doing, how we'll manage. The scenarios are different for all of us. And recently I had a conversation with many who are concerned about, like even young persons who are concerned about what's going to happen in their future, wondering what life will bring, how they will manage. On these days, economically, that's a big consideration with rising food prices, rising gas prices, lack of homes. Well, for all of us, we need a healthy dose of faith, hope, and love to continue on. And if we have these three things, we can manage almost any difficult or perplexity in life. So I do not know where my dreams will take me. I haven't said to Stanley that I'm thinking probably the RV idea is just not going to be for us. Maybe some kind of a miracle is going to happen. I just recently got monetized on YouTube. If I earned $1,000 a month with YouTube, which I think is a really big stretch, at least right now, yeah, I could think about buying an RV. I could probably think about staying where we are and owning an RV and having both. So sometimes this is the thing. You don't know if this is going to turn out or that is going to turn out or maybe both. But no matter what, that whole element of faith, hope, and love, those are the three integral parts that you really need to carry you through almost every dream, everything in life that you experience. I have those, and I hope you have them too. This is as close as we can get to the airport. We sit across the road at a Wendy's, which is now shut down, but the parking lot's still there, so We can sit and watch airplanes. So unfortunately, we have traffic running in front of us. But once in a while, we're fortunate and one will fly right over our head.
To Dublin and pick up people in Dublin and then carry on to Toronto, and then she would stay overnight in Toronto and then fly back to Harlem the next day. There's an Irish airplane.
We brought our lunch. It was very impromptu, so I just grabbed stuff from the fridge and the cupboard. We always make sure that we have our picnic chairs in the back of the car so that we can enjoy these impromptu picnics. Usually once a year we go down to the airport, and generally we plan it more than this particular visit, but lately the weather has been so up and down, and we had a nice day, and I said, let's grab it. So we did.
You think he's probably have to get up to 170, 200?
Thanks for watching, people, and welcome to all my new subscribers. I'm so glad you tuned in. You will notice that there'll be sort of an outdoors kind of activity video and then the knitting. So I alternate between the two, but I try to keep everybody happy and while, keeping myself happy, because I like creating videos and I like putting this out, and it's a fun activity for me. So if anybody wants to know how to do that, go ahead and ask me. I'm a senior, new to YouTubing and having fun. So upcoming, our camping trip, plus before that, hiking, and a few maybe short videos that I might be making on how to turn off the lights on your CRV trunk when your tent is attached. Stay tuned.